Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Crazy Monkey here again. Alright, so it's Crazy Monkey here again, another blog update. So on this blog I'm going to talk about filthy rich foreign investors from predominantly the third world countries, or historically third world countries, because a lot of these countries now are got quite a bit of industrialization. And a lot of people in these countries are buying up real estate here in America. They're buying up real estate in Canada, Australia, Europe. And one particular country I'm going to talk about is China. It's the highest population country on earth, I believe. It might be India, I'm not sure. I know China's over 1 billion people. I know India's over 1 billion people. I'm not sure which one is number one, but I know overall China has way more wealth, and I believe they have more filthy rich elites than India. I mean, I actually 100% sure that's the truth. China has a lot more filthy rich elites buying up property in the West than India. So China, I think, is number one for buying up property in other countries like Australia, Canada, Europe, America. You go to certain cities like Sydney, Australia. You go to cities like Vancouver, Canada, Toronto, Canada. Here in America, Seattle, LA, San Francisco. Chinese filthy rich elites from China are just buying up so many houses. I mean, they're literally just buying up houses everywhere they can. And I'm going to show you some articles real quick in just a minute. And before I do, I just want to say, my philosophy is that if foreign investors, including people from China, are going to buy property in America and other countries, like say Canada, Australia, America, Europe, I think there should be rules. And I think one of the rules, especially here in America, and hopefully Canada, Australia, and Europe would do similar rules, is that they have to buy brand new construction. And it has to be a one-house limit. So instead of these filthy rich foreign elites coming here with 50 million and buying 50 houses, they would only be allowed to buy one house, and it has to be new construction only. So it would be legal for rich people in foreign countries to buy houses in America. I think it should be legal, but I think there should be rules in place. One set of rules should be they had to make their money legally. They couldn't make their money through crime. They can't make their money through harvesting political prisoner organs. They can't make their money through harvesting tiger organs or harvesting lion organs. I'll show you those articles in a minute. They can't make their money by having some horrendous factory where there's like 10 workers that died, and it's just got massive safety violations, and they got massive pollution violations where they're dumping toxic waste into the water, cancer-causing chemicals, and it's got tons of pollution violations. There should be certain rules that they have to make their money what we would consider legally and ethically, to some degree. It would be a very minimum standard, and 70–80% would qualify to buy a house, but the worst of the worst, the people making their money the most despicable ways, they would be banned from buying houses in America. But the ones that pass this test, the 70–80% that pass the test, and they made their money at least somewhat ethically, at least somewhat decently, they would be allowed to buy a house, and they would be able to buy one house only, and it must be brand new construction. And the reason why it should be brand new construction is because that provides construction jobs for American workers. It provides jobs for American workers to build a house. So that's the way I feel it should be. I think that if a foreign elite, a rich person in another country, wants to buy a house, they should first have to be security screened, where they made the money somewhat ethically, where they didn't just, make the money, just doing, like, they didn't make the money, like, massively illegally, just by dumping cancer-causing chemicals in the river, and just massive violations in labor laws, and massive violations in safety and cleaning laws, pollution laws. They didn't make the money by harvesting, prisoner organs, or harvesting tiger organs, lion organs. They didn't make their money through, some sort of mafia. They should have to pass a basic test that they made their money, somewhat ethically. The test would be fairly easy. It's not going to be very difficult. It's going to be a fairly easy test to pass, just to make sure that the worst of the worst are not allowed to buy houses. And then the people that pass that test, they can buy one house, and it has to be new construction. That's how I think it should be. And I'm going to show you why right now. I'm going to show you the articles on the internet right now of why I feel very strongly about this. So here's the articles right now. And our first one is just Yahoo image search. I hope this is showing up. Alright, so these are basically, I don't know why it has all those letters. It's just crazy. Yeah, just forget those. It's just Yahoo image search. I mean, it's right there. You just go to Yahoo and you just type in China pollution right there, and then you'll get all these. You will get all these pictures. It's just horrifying pictures of just how bad the pollution is. So we'll just go through real quick. Here's one picture. It says striking photos of China's polluted water. So here's somebody in this massive polluted water. Here's another picture. Oh my God, now hold on, let me get rid of that. Alright, so this is China historical drop in coal use did not lead to dip in carbon emissions. So that's another picture. And they are cleaning China up a little bit, but it is just massively overpolluted. I mean, it's going to take them a long, long time to clean it up. I mean, the pollution is just absolutely horrendous. I mean, this is another one, 20 signs that China's pollution has reached apocalyptic levels. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing that right. Alright, but I mean, it's just picture after picture after picture. I mean, let me show you some more. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of these pictures all over. You know, here's people fishing in the water. Here's people fishing in the water. And then over here it shows dead fish caused by the pollution. Here's another picture. I mean, there's just literally hundreds and hundreds of these pictures. Here's one of a child swimming in just an absolute polluted river. And this happens all the time. You know, these polluted rivers, they'll dump like cancer-causing chemicals in the polluted rivers. So the factory owners, in order to save money on cleanup, they'll just dump like cancer-causing chemicals into the rivers, into the local water supply, and then villagers get cancer, children get cancer. That happens all the time in China. 250,000 people each year die from pollution in China each year. So that's 2.5 million people die of pollution in China every 10 years. Hundreds of thousands of those people are children getting cancers caused by, you know, swimming in these polluted rivers, caused by just massive amount of toxic waste just dumped into the rivers where they're drinking the water. And here's another one about how, this is from Breitbart, and this is about how China's harvesting political prisoner organs. So here's another one, and they make money doing this. I mean, they make a lot of money doing this. They basically will harvest organs from prisoners, and then what happens is they will harvest these organs from prisoners. Prisoners are killed, they harvest their organs, and then they sell them to like filthy rich businessmen, filthy rich people from other countries. So they can make like 50,000 off one organ. So if they harvest like 5 organs from one person, they can make like upwards of $250,000. So they're making just millions and millions, probably hundreds of millions every year harvesting organs from prisoners. And that's another thing that is happening. And you can read this article. It's the collapse of Western values, a massive case of denial in the free world and religious bigotry toward the Falun Gong spiritual movement have allowed China to potentially expand its industrial-scale harvesting of live organs to Uyghur Muslims imprisoned in concentration camps. Author Ethan Gutman, author of several seminal reports on the topic, told Breitbart News. And you can read the article yourself. And then now they're even harvesting the organs of lions and tigers. That's a new one. I'm going to show you this article right here. They just started doing this, I guess. They're now having tiger and lion farms where they're going to harvest their organs. China mass breeding lions, tigers for traditional medicine organ harvesting. So this article just came out July 10th, 2019. Farm factories in China are breeding lions and tigers en masse and then harvesting the organs to meet the growing demand for traditional Chinese medicine. That has no value. They've actually, scientists have proved that medicine is completely worthless. It has no value at all. But now this is what they're doing. Now they put these big cats, the tigers and the lions, in these tiny, tiny cages. So they live their entire life in a tiny little cage. And the only reason they're having that cat live in that tiny cage is because eventually you're going to kill it and to harvest its organs for the traditional medicine that doesn't work. So those are just a few articles about China, and there's other articles you can get about India and other countries in the world, different countries in the Middle East, different countries, all over Africa, the Middle East, South America, India, China. And what I'm saying is a lot of these rich elites in these countries, maybe 10, 20, 30% of them are making their money just doing extremely evil stuff. And then they come here and they buy our houses. So then our house prices go to $1 million. I know 70% of them, 70, 80% are fine. They're making their money ethically. They're building a building, building a shopping mall. They're making their money ethically. It's perfectly okay if they come here, buy a house, as long as it's new construction to provide us jobs to build a house, one house limit. That's fine. But the 10, 20, 30% that are making their money doing these extremely evil things, illegal things, those are the ones that I think should be banned from being able to buy houses in America, Canada, Europe, Australia. It's just ridiculous because the West, we are being destroyed by foreign investors buying up our houses. You look at Sydney, you look at Melbourne, you look at Toronto, you look at Vancouver, you look at cities in Europe like London and Paris, you look at cities here in America like New York, Miami, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles. They are just being totally, completely destroyed by filthy rich foreign elites, just buying up so many houses, causing the prices to go from $200,000 to like $1 million for a tiny little house. And then us middle-class Americans, we get totally priced out of those cities. And they're just doing it to more and more cities, and then we middle-class Americans get priced out. Your children will be priced out. Your children will not be able to buy a house because the prices will be $1 million. So I just want to say that real quick.